right, well, a quick side note about the training we do here at our zoo. We use a form of training called operant conditioning. It's all very positive based. Simply stated, if the sea lions do the correct behavior, they're going to get rewarded with a piece of fish. All right, so for an example, if we wanted these girls to bark. All right, they both did what they're asked. They both get their fish. Now, you may wonder, well, what happens if they don't do the right behavior? Well, one thing we never do is we never punish them. If they don't do the correct thing, we'll move on to something else or keep working on that one. If all else fails and they just don't feel like doing a show, we're doing a training session, they don't have to. All right, this is all about positive. We want this to be a good experience for them. They do have days where they just don't feel like doing the shows. And that's okay. You know, we still give them all their fish, but we do like to take these opportunities to really interact with them. Sea lions are very intelligent animals as well as being athletic. So by having these sessions throughout the day, like I said, we're able to interact with them. We can teach them to do things just as simple as get up close to them so we can really make sure they're healthy, check them over head to tail, brush their teeth, get weights on them. We can do blood draws, ultrasounds, all through this training. So you can see where that would make our job a lot easier as well as making their lives less stressful. All right, we're also able to train fun things too, like the porpoise. Let's see if Callie feels like showing off a little bit. She's showing off her swimming skills. There she goes. All right, something like a flip. That's really fun to watch. All right, now, but it also really goes back to being really good for the animals. As I said, they are intelligent. So it's kind of our responsibility to keep their lives fun and exciting. And we can do that by having shows throughout the day and work with them, teach them new things, get them some exercise. So it really is a win-win situation. All right, well, back to more information on sea lions. Out in the wild, as I said before, sea lions have to be able to catch their own food for themselves. They're going to eat a lot of fish. There's about 50 different kinds of fish they can eat. Along with that, squid, octopus, and shellfish. All right, so these critters that sea lions are trying to catch to eat, well, they don't want to be a sea lion's lunch. So sea lions are going to have some advantages to allow them to catch it. All right, and we talked about the strong flippers already. That's going to allow them to swim really fast. They can catch up to them, no problem. All right, then what they do is grab them with their sharp teeth. Get Callie here to open up her mouth. Now, sea lions have 36 really sharp pointed teeth in their mouth. All right, now if you can see from where you're sitting, they look dark in color. Don't worry, it's a protective coating. The girls did brush this morning. These sharp pointed teeth are great because they can grab onto that food. But with all of their teeth being sharp and pointed, sea lions don't have the ability to grind it up. We've got molars in the back of our mouths. We chew our food before we swallow it. Sea lions can't do that. So they just swallow it whole. And we're using little fish for the show. We cut up the bigger ones just so we have more rewards. But our sea lions can swallow fish 6 to 8 inches long, weighing close to a pound, just like that. So they're able to put away a lot of fish really quickly. All right, now that fish trying to get away. Sea lions have yet another advantage, and that is their flexibility. The most flexible part on a sea lion is their neck. All right, so there's a test you can do if you want to compare yourself to a sea lion. Try and bend your head back as far as you can. I like that. All right, I see some of you trying it. People can look straight up in the air. That's flexible for humans. All right, that's not flexible if you are a sea lion. You girls want to show much flexibility? It really is. Now, sea lions can touch their noses to the middle of their backs. All right, now that really is going to be an advantage because as that fish is trying to get away, it's not just going to swim in a straight line. It's going to be zigzagging all over the place. So by having that flexibility, they're going to be able to keep up with it a lot easier. All right, sea lions also have good vision above and below the water, so they're going to be able to track that food visually. But the water's not always clear out there in the ocean. And sea lions have the ability to dive really deep. They can go 800 feet straight down. It's going to be pitch black down there. All right, so when they lose that ability to see what they're going after, they've got some great whiskers they can rely on. Let's get our sea lions to hold them up for you. Now, these whiskers are sensitive. What a sea lion will do is flip them forward, use them to feel around. They can determine size and shapes of objects. They're actually so sensitive they can feel the vibrations of a fish swimming by.